What's up, you guys? It's your girl Jupiter. What's up, you guys? I miss you all. I love you. Thank you all for your comments, your beautiful love that y'all sent. Like, that's crazy. I can't believe I had somebody say it's been 3 years. It didn't dawn on me that it's been that long because I was always planning on getting back to y'all. Like, it's so crazy. Time really does fly, especially when you just like really trying to love and focus on yourself. And it's just so good to be back. It's so good to read y'all's comments and to feel that love and that energy, to connect with my soul group, my family, and hearing from y'all and seeing and listening and seeing what y'all have been going through. Like, it's bringing me all back. It's bringing me all types of back. Like, and I love it. And I'm so appreciative of every last one of y'all. And I wouldn't have expected after 3 years or after that amount of time period, I wouldn't have expected for the community just to embrace me, my welcome back. Like, I feel like I was like you, like that, the trust test where you fall back and you got your group of people behind you catching you. I felt like that in that moment. Like, oh my gosh, like I looked up, I'm like, I probably get about 10 views, or not as if that means anything, because just one of y'all is a million. But it was just so overwhelming to see all of y'all. So I'm just like astounded, and thank you so much. I'm so blessed for this. And yeah, it does. It makes me want to be more transparent. I'm just letting y'all know what I was going through. Like, I really was trying to show up for myself. Like, my roadmap of myself wasn't giving what it was supposed to give, honey. It just wasn't. And I can't say that I wasn't in God's timing and God's plan for myself, but I know my health was taking a back seat, and I was dealing with a lot of health problems and other issues, and I'm sure spiral out of just the food alone, like what we put into our bodies. And the one thing that I had came across was I learned that I had a gluten intolerance, and also just on top of being lactose and having problems with sugar, like being unable to really process my sugar and digest my sugar as energy, like most bodies or people are able to do, I guess. So I just was going through a lot, trying to see who I was about to become now, with me learning what I was learning about what the food was actually doing to me, and having to like really show up for myself, like saying things but not doing, like instead of just talking about it, actually doing it. And I feel like a lot of people, I feel like what we do, we get used to this unreal, ideal expectation of what our life is supposed to be. Excuse me, guys. I'm still getting over a cold. I'm so sorry. And that was gross. But yeah, so we plan out our lives, right? Your self of 5 years ago isn't the same self as of today. Like, spiritually, you may feel like you haven't changed a whole lot, but physically, you will have not changed even more. Oh my goodness, I feel like I got something in my throat. I'm gonna quickly get through this, you guys, because yes, my throat is itching. But let me drink some of my. Okay. So yeah, we get kind of stuck into this paradigm of what we want our lives to be. And it may not necessarily be what your life is actually supposed to be. But we will be like, baby, this is it. This is my life. I'm not changing. I got to stay, true and on it and not waver and not fold. And sometimes all of that is not needed. But sometimes you have to reroute your dreams. You have to reroute it. Like, you have to match it to who you are today. Like, you're with your true healing. Like, when you actually show up for yourself and not just pretend to show up for yourself. In my life, I felt like it was one of them times. Like, it was one of them moments where I had did everything the way I felt I was supposed to. So therefore, all my T's is crossed and all my I's is dotted, and I'm showing up, I think, for myself. And I wasn't. I was pretending, and I'm going to say pretend because it was what I wanted for myself. I wanted, so they say, okay, well, what you want, you do. You put yourself in that energy, and you'll produce that. So that was the pretend, and I get that that's probably the pretend for a lot of people, but for a lot of other people, or for you in moments in your life, that pretending is hurting you. It's not making things better. It's hurting you. So you have to kind of like self-check yourself on where you're at. Like, give yourself that self-check. Like, hold yourself accountable for where you're at in your life and who you thought you would be in this moment. Not who you are pretending to be, but who you are actually, who you are. Like, because that's the person who's actually showing up for yourself when nobody else is. That's the person who's actually showing up for other people when no one else is. It's like, you can't really pretend. You can't fake that person. You can't fake that person. So we tend to lose sight of what we actually need to change in our life to make ourselves better, to make ourselves the best version of ourselves. We lose sight of that because we are so busy living someone else's ideal of what our life is supposed to look like in that moment. And somebody else, I say somebody else, but it could just be you, but it could be somebody else of you. If you get what I'm saying, like, you have different versions and different layers to yourself. So, like I said, who you were 5 years ago may not be who you are today. Who you were 2-3 years ago may not be who you are today, but yet you are still showing up for yourself as you were, as who you were 5 years ago in your mind. So therefore, that person has changed. You're no longer that person, but yet you're still showing up for yourself the way you needed it 5 years ago. But the way you need to show up for yourself now is not the same way of how you need to show up for yourself 5 years ago. If y'all feel what I'm saying. Yes. Okay. So this is what pretty much I was going through. So much time had went by. I had went through so much shit. And I never readjusted who I was, period. I'll say who I was. I never readjusted who I was, and now needing to show up for myself in a different way. I didn't adjust that. So I was allowing myself to kind of like take the back burner on certain things, like my health, for instance. Like my body was changing, like things were changing, like the food is fucking changing, like things is fucking changing. Like, you had a whole fucking lockdown and shutdown that changed every fucking thing. So it's like, you can no longer keep yourself on this vibration, this scale that is the old spectrum of life, like the old paradigm of life. Like, you can no longer show up for yourself. People are really not adjusting. I know some of this sounds like child's play to a lot of people. Like, oh, of course not. But it's like a lot of people don't find it that easy. They're not finding it that easy to show up for themselves, or to process where they're at, like how things have changed. Like, okay, things is different now, so let me show up for myself differently. Things is different now, like, so let me do things differently. That's not simple and easy as it seems to you or other people. You know, a lot of people are just not showing up for themselves. And I feel like you can kind of get lost, even if you feel like you ahead of the wave and I stay up on my shit and I keep my shit tight and whatever. You still will come across circumstances and issues and problems where you will even fail, like, because I can't say, I don't want to say fail, because it's like, it's not about failing or winning. It's just learning. So there's moments where you will still have to learn, is what I'm saying, even if you feel like you got it all. And that was me. I'm not even a person who moved through life and feel like I got it all. But I know when I feel like I know something, I feel like I know it. And I'm not necessarily wrong when it changes up. It's just a season for that, for learning that. There was a season for that, and now that season has come and gone. And now there's another season for learning something else. And you have to really be able to adapt and morph and change into these different things so you can show up for yourself. Excuse me. But it's important. It's important. I feel like we ain't all out here living the life we pretend to. So we're not showing up for ourselves. We're not holding ourselves accountable for the things that we want. We're not holding ourselves accountable for the things that we need in our lives, the things that we know we wanted through each layer of our life. We're not holding ourselves accountable for that. Like, that person is, we're not either we're not allowing that person to show up for us because we keep pushing that energy down, or the person that's showing up, that energy that's showing up is a past energy, and it keeps allowing you to deal with past stuff, past energy, stuck energy. It's just a lot. We have to want to uphold our boundaries. We have to set boundaries, for one. We have to want to uphold them. We have to want to not cross our boundaries. We have to guard our non-negotiables in life, in general, in as a whole. Guard your non-negotiables. Don't let anybody come in a situation that you've been working decades on, and then make bring their energy, and now all of a sudden you're throwing your shit off. You're not showing up for yourself. All of a sudden you're gonna forget about what it is that you got going on. You're not showing up for yourself. All of a sudden you're gonna go out to eat and eat the most fucked up food that you know hurts your stomach, and that you know that you literally have an allergic reaction to. No, you're not showing up for yourself. We have to stop allowing the delusion, the cognitive dissonance, and the delusion of others not holding themselves accountable and not showing up for themselves. We have to stop allowing that influence to affect our lives and what we're doing, and what frequency you truly vibing on in life. Because it's all fun and games. It's all cute to be all like, I'm this and I'm that, until it's time to show up for yourself. And then people can see a true mind that's really like on their shit is going to be able to see like a true energy, a true clean energy that comes near you, can be able to see what healing you need to do, what healing has to be done. Healing never really stops. I can imagine it's daily, for one. So you got to not only show up for yourself yesterday, but you got to show up for yourself today, bitch. You got to continue to show up for yourself. You can't, it ain't over. It's not time for celebratory when just because you knock down one day, when you need to show up for yourself in general and in life, period. But, we pretend. And I think we pretended to the detriment of like our own growth. Some of us at least. So that was something that I had to embrace and go through on my own, like in the privacy of myself. Not what others could see, not what others could judge. And it wasn't something that I talked about. It wasn't something that I glorified and wanted people to know that this is what I was doing. It was just some deep self-check, self-health check on myself, holding myself accountable. Because knowing, look, I played a huge part, if not the only motherfucker who played a part in just shit going the way a certain way that wasn't necessarily to my liking. It was me. I was the culprit. I made the decisions. I carried them out. I nurtured them. Sometimes other people played a part, but it was only what I allowed them to do. It was only what I allowed them to do. It was only what role did I give, what script did I give them in my movie? Because I'm the only person handing out scripts. I mean, God, he's also the all and the be all, the alpha and the omega. So I know that he don't make no mistakes off top. God is not making no mistakes here. So whatever mistakes I feel that I'm coming across, and they don't even have to be mistakes, but if that's the energy that I want to walk away and carry with me, then I'm going to have to put that blame on myself. If I want to feel like I had some mistaken shit happen to me or whatever, then that's the energy I got to put on myself first. But God don't make no mistakes, so you shouldn't feel like you making them either. So it's really in the privacy of yourself, checking your motherfucking self and holding yourself accountable for the shit that you allow and put into your life, the delusion that you accept willingly and shit. We all do it. We really do. And then we just have to, be like, okay, damn, I did that. Yeah, I let so-and-so come through and had a field day playground on my heart and my soul, but that was me. I let that go on, and I continue to let it go on. And that's how you grow, and you try to, I don't know, because I felt like a lot of that energy back then was that type of toxic twin flame, runner chaser, ghosting, all the bells and whistles of a fucked up toxic situation that you should have no part of. It had everything. It glorified it. Back then, it definitely was that energy heavy. And it was just like, I can't, I'm pulling cards, and this is what I got going. This is what my peoples is dealing with. Nobody is leveling up the way they want to see themselves leveling up. I'm not going to say nobody, because there's people out there who did. But it's like, was it a pretend though? Because a lot of us, I felt, were floating through on some pretend shit. Like, okay, yes, I am better because I stopped talking to this person and I ghosted them and they got what they deserve and this and that. And it's like, but secretly your energy is holding on to this person for dear fucking life. Like, dear life. Like, let them go, sis. Let them go. Anyways, it was a lot to it. I don't judge nobody. I just knew that the energy was just too much for me. It was too much for me because in the same sense of me just trying to like be do away with the energy that I was feeling in my own life and my own shit. It was hard to do so while I was like helping other people live delusion. Not live a lie. A lot of this, the tarot community, if you're new to it, it's and it helps you, let it help you, and then do away with it. Walk away from the same message that keeps you dealing with the same energy. Like if the person is not switching up that energy for you, then they're not of help to you. That's not helping you at all. And I'm sure people end up finding that being the reason, like not being the reason, but just they found that to be like, like they find this to be true. It's like, it's just hitting your head up against the same wall in the same spot every day. Like, it's just too much. So 9 times out of 10, when you ask yourself, if you're showing up or showing out for yourself, the answer is going to be no. And that's to keep it all the way 100, keep it all the way $1 for you, for life purposes, for just being a real person in life. Like, just keep it real with yourself. And that's what I felt like I did. And I'm still doing, because it's just not a one-day thing. It just does not work like that. It doesn't. And of course, shit, it ain't a 3-year thing. It's not even a 3-year thing. It's just daily time, like continuing to show up for yourself and continuing to measure who you are as you're going through things and as you're learning and going through life's experiences. You have to ask yourself, what's the benefit? What's the benefit when you show up for yourself? What will be the benefit of you showing up for yourself and keeping it all the way real? Keeping it real with yourself is not always going to look pretty. I just want to let y'all know that. It's not going to look pretty. It's not going to look easy. It's not going to look none of that shit. It's not going to look like the trend. You understand what I'm saying? It's not going to be the trend. Showing up for yourself and truly loving yourself and setting those boundaries, protecting your non-negotiables. Like, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. But I guarantee you, it'll be the thing that you need in your life that's going to be the most rewarding. Because sometimes the reward is silent until it's loud and clear. And this is one of those situations where the reward will be silent. Like, a lot of people, it just ought to be. Your journey should be silent. It should be silent because this is a self. This is a privacy thing. This is in the privacy of self. This is not something that you're going to necessarily broadcast out to others. You show up by showing your, your accountability for yourself, and then preaching the good preach with that, saying a few words to the to the sake of being a better version of yourself. I don't know. Whoever needs it. I feel like whoever God guides to you in that while you're in that journey and through that walk of life, those will be the people who you need to minister to and be there for. And yeah, that's it. That's it on that. Like, I love y'all. Like, but this is like this is the gist of it. For the most part, I had to show up for myself, and the little kid Jupiter and the big kid Jupiter and the teenage adult Jupiter, like, it was time to reevaluate and really show up for myself, like who I am, who the spirit of I am got me out here being in life. Like, that's the most important to me to work on, and to show up and be who I'm supposed to be in this life. And I feel like it's really important for everybody to find that place, because it's there. You got it. And my ultimate goal is that things will come together in my mind, because like I said, I'm still working on it. I'm still being an example to those who see me every day. So, and you never know who you're an example to. So just, you show up. You show the fuck up for yourself. You show the fuck up for yourself, and you show the fuck out for yourself. And I guarantee you, people will feel that energy. It will rub off on them. They will see that light beaming. They will see it shining. And they'll want to know, like, the God of Jupiter, I want that to be my God. You know what I'm saying? The God of whoever you are, I want that to be my God. And you walk in your true light. You walk in your true power. And learn. It's so much information. There's so much stuff to learn and to fill yourself up with. Learn. Fill yourself up with knowledge. And pass it and learn and grow, and pass it and learn and grow and pass it, and let's just play telephone with the most positive things in life, and just pass it along and just continue to love each other. So yes, I love the fuck out of all of y'all up in this bitch. Gotta end it with some ghetto shit. Yeah. But anyways, I love y'all. So I will talk to y'all soon. And thank y'all for the love again. Love y'all. Bye.